Hi, friends. Good evening. So, I believe everyone is doing good, everyone is healthy. Today, we'll be discussing about a topic which is pretty important for us. In fact, whatever we want to do, this topic will help us a lot. We all know, except we all know our mind is an amazing mechanism where our mind works in one way. It can produce tremendous success, and if it works other way, it can take us to the failure. So the mind is most delicate and most sensitive instrument of all creation which we see around us. Now, the way we work to keep our body fit by taking proper diet, by taking positive diet, the same way, the diet which we give to our mind, that basically makes what our mind is. And the diet for mind is what? Our thoughts. If we think positive, if we no, if we think positive, if we think everything is possible, our mind gets the positive food. The moment we start taking junks, the way our body reacts, the same way our mind reacts. So, our thought or the mind food which is thought is basically comes from the kind of environment we are in, the kind of people we hang around, the kind of books we read, the kind of work we perform, the kind of you know um, movies, the kind of thing we take interest in, the kind of activities we do. So all these basically are the component which generate our thoughts, and these thoughts basically affect our conscious and subconscious mind. And the way these thoughts are, the same way we start behaving. The kind of mind food we consume basically determines our habit, our attitudes, our personality, everything in fact that defines us in fact. And each of us have inherited a certain capacity to develop, but how much do we develop, the way we develop, all that is dependent upon the kind of mind food we feed to it. The mind basically, it always a reflection of what kind of environment we are living in. If we are in a positive environment, probably our thought process, our achievements, our reactions, our responses would be very different than if we are living in a positive environment. So, and in fact, have you ever thought, if we have been brought up in a different part of the country, or say in a different country itself, would we have been the same person? Probably not. The reason is their environment would have been different, the thought process would have been different, and we would have been a very different kind of person. So, as the saying goes, we are the product of our environment, and environment shapes us. It makes us think the way we think, the way we do the things. More important, size of our thinking, our goals, our attitude, and our personality is formed by our environment. And in fact, everyone agrees. Even you'll agree, I agree. A lot of people agree. Ki what we are today is the product of what our thought process was in the past. Now, what will be in the future is something, how will we think in the future, what will be our thought process in the future, what will be my environment in the future, that will decide what I'll be in future in fact. So let's look at how we can make our environment work for us rather than working against us. No, if we keep our environment positive, surely it will generate positive thoughts. It will give positive vibration to our mind, and our mind will think in a constructive way. Otherwise, it will take us to a failure. I mean, a dejection stage, a stage where probably we feel there is no hope. Okay, so the number one obstacles on the road of high level success is feeling that major accomplishments are beyond the reach. And that is how most of the people in this world think. They think something big is reserved for someone else to do. It is not under their capacity, it is not under their caliber to perform that particular task. And that is why they end up doing something very minimal as such. So if you see, we can divide the people we know in three kind of group. The first group, I mean, these are the people who have surrendered in their life. They can accomplish nothing major. दे थिंक कि बॉस जो भी मेजर काम है, जो मेजर काम करना है वो हमारे बस में तो है ही नहीं. दैट इज रिजर्व फॉर समवन स्पेशल, जिसके पास स्पेशल टैलेंट हो, स्पेशल स्किल्स हो, स्पेशल एबिलिटीज हो. सो बेसिकली वी शुड keep ourselves away from this kind of group, because if we agree to work with uninspiring fossils, it only a matter of time when we become one. I mean, it is a quote by Mr. Khosha. And then the second group is a group which started on a promising note, which basically achieved certain degree of success, and then they went into their comfort zone. They said कि बॉस आगे और कुछ करने का फायदा नहीं है, बिकॉज आगे और थोड़ी सी सक्सेस के लिए बहुत ज्यादा मेहनत करनी पड़ेगी. एंड प्रोबेबली दे वर नॉट ready to put that kind of work, or they had resigned कि बॉस अब इससे ज्यादा मुझसे नहीं हो सकता है. So these are the people, they seem to be satisfied with what they have, but deep within even they are very dissatisfied. So ये ग्रुप में एक्चुअली होता गया है कि से दे आर अचीविंग सक्सेस आफ्टर सक्सेस एंड सडनली दे stumble, they fail somewhere, so they don't, I mean, they are not able to get up, get the courage to start again. So this group, I mean, what I believe is they lack vision. So too much association with visionless people will blur your vision until you finally lose sight of your identity. I mean, the beautiful quote by Mr. Clement. Then there is a third group, and believe me, this is the group which inspires everyone. These are the fighters, these are the warriors, they never surrender. And believe me, this group is only 2 or 3% of entire population. They don't let pessimism get in. They don't let, no, I can't do kind of thinking, suppressive forces get in. They always believe. They breathe success, they breathe in success, they breathe out success. They always believe that they would be successful. This group is the happiest group because of their accomplishments. I mean, they become the top salesperson, they become top executives, they become top leaders in their field. These people find life stimulating and rewarding, worthwhile. These people look forward each day as a new challenge, as a new encounter, and they work basically to overcome that. Now, this is the group with which we should associate ourselves. I mean, as Oprah Winfrey said, surround yourself with those who only lift you higher. Because this kind of group, if we associate with this kind of group, these people basically, give us hope. Yes, if they can do, even we can do. And these people lift you higher. So, I mean, this is the class of people we should spend most of our time. Don't let small thinking people hold you back. Believe me, the people who have not achieved anything in their life, they could not do that because it is not because they were not having skills, they were not having potential, or they were unable to do that. It was because there was a quitter sitting inside them which said, boss, I cannot do. That was purely because of their thought process. And when they tell you something कि बॉस तुम ये नहीं कर सकते हो और ये गलत है, they don't tell you to mostly discourage you. These are really good people. Sometimes they don't tell you to discourage you. They just tell that to hide their defeat. So they give you solid reasons basically why you will not be able to accomplish this kind of things, why you should leave at, why you should be very satisfied with whatever you have, don't move forward. एक कहावत है मराठी में कि खरा दे असल्या तरी दे तो दे खटल्यावरी. मतलब आप अगर भगवान है तो आप खाट पे भी बैठे रहोगे तो भी वो आपको देगा. So these are the kind of people who basically believe in that saying. And That is why they will preach you the same thing. So opinion of these people can be poisonous. We should develop a self defense against them, and we should always take their negative advice as a challenge. Believe me, a lot of these kind of people are well-meaning people. They basically don't no, they don't want anything bad for us, but end of the day, I mean, they have to hide even their inadequacies. That is a human nature. So we should be extra cautious with these negators, and these negators are found everywhere. They would be in your company, they would be in your friend groups, they would be in your clubs, they would be in your no, uh, anywhere, any association you go. These people will be never satisfied. They will always try to find fault with other people. Say in your office, say your boss has initiated a new process, new initiatives. They will always be there. कि अरे यार, ये चीज में ये गड़बड़ी है. They will keep on finding fault. So we should study them. And we should take their positives also. See, there is no one who is completely negative. Everyone has positive, everyone has negative. So let us grab their positive and move on. Negative ko let us throw it, because the moment we start absorbing their negative, the same way our mind start thinking, and that is a thought food which will go to our mind. Okay, and then we should never forget that we are judged by the kind of company we keep. No, birds with a feather flock together. So we should always work, always no, associate with the positive people. We should never go and associate ourselves with the people who are negative, who keep on no cribbing कि ये कैसे नहीं हो सकता है, ये इस तरह नहीं होगा, इसमें ये कमी है, उसमें वो कमी है. तो ऐसे लोगों के साथ हम रहेंगे तो हम भी वैसा ही सोचने लगेंगे. एंड ये बिलीव ये जो भी बोलते हैं ना, ये उनके अपनी फीलिंग का प्रोजेक्शन होता है. ये उनका अपना वे होता है हाइड करने का कि बॉस मैं तो यहीं रुक गया हूं, मैं इसके आगे क्यों नहीं गया, उसके ये रीजंस हैं. सो दे लॉजिकली जस्टिफाई देयर फेल्योर. एंड एज जॉन सी मैक्सवेल सेज, नो वन फेल्स until he quits, until he stops trying, because failure is always a first step of success. बट देन ये लोग ना क्विट कर देते हैं. जब आप क्विट कर देते हैं तो फिर आप फेल हो गए. देन यू कैन never win. So basically what we look to do is like there's a quote, I don't know who has I mean it is whose quote, but it is very good quote. You cannot change the people around you, but you can change the people that you choose to be around. आप अपने आसपास के लोगों को नहीं चेंज कर सकते हैं, बट आप ये चूज कर सकते हैं कि आपको किन के साथ रहना है. As your life changes, so will be your friend circles. बहुत सही है. आप अगर देखेंगे कोई एंटरप्रेन्योर है, वो कभी किसी ऐसे लोगों के साथ हैंग आउट नहीं करता है, वो आर एम्प्लॉइज. They will always basically ये हैंग आउट विद एंटरप्रेन्योर्स. अभी एक एम्प्लॉई है, उसका माइंडसेट कभी एंटरप्रेन्योर के माइंडसेट से मिलेगा ही नहीं. वो हमेशा एम्प्लॉइज के साथ ही हैंग आउट करने की कोशिश करता है. सो बेसिकली हम लोग को अगर ग्रो करना है तो वी नीड टू चेंज आवर एसोसिएशन, एंड हमें जिसकी तरह बनना है, वी शुड बेसिकली ट्राई टू हैंग अराउंड विद दोस पीपल. लाइक से you want to be CEO of your company, go spend some time with your CEO, see how he thinks, how he does work, वो क्या करता है, उनको स्टडी करना, उनके हर एक्शन को स्टडी करना, वो क्यों कर रहे हैं. दैट इज वेरी इंपॉर्टेंट. जब आपका थॉट प्रोसेस उनके थॉट प्रोसेस जैसा हो जाएगा, यू विल ऑटोमेटिकली बिकम अ सीईओ. एंड देन वी शुड अवॉइड द क्या कहते हैं उसको, एडवाइजेस बेसिकली फ्रॉम एवरी टॉम डिक एंड हैरी. हमारे ऑफिस में भी होता है, फ्रेंड्स में भी होते हैं. आपने किसी से एडवाइस मांगी नहीं है एंड दे बिकम अ फ्रीलांसर एडवाइजर. वो आपको एडवाइस देना शुरू कर देंगे. So we should be very cautious from whom we are taking our advice. If it is a question of our life, believe me, it is very important to choose a mentor. And I've always maintained, you can choose a mentor to a person who first is very successful in the area for which area you're choosing him a mentor. And the second is, I mean, he might be very successful, but if he is not ready to help you, then there is no point. So you should, he should be ready to help you also. So a mentor, the essential quality of a mentor, first, he should be very successful in the area. And the second is, he should be ready to help you also. Okay. So if I need to play hockey, I'll not, you go and take Sachin Tendulkar as my mentor. He's a great person, very successful. I mean, very influential. If you read his autobiography, you'd be amazed the kind of hard work that person has put in. But he cannot be my mentor for playing hockey, or he cannot be my mentor, for say if I want to get into the public speaking, he cannot be my mentor there also. Yes. So a different aspect of life, you need to see who is the successful person, and you take your advice from there. In fact, we all are culprit of that. We go to the people whom we believe the most, whom with whom we are very comfortable, and we take advices from them. We take no a mentorship from them. That we should never do. In fact, I learned after a very very late stage of life, but ठीक है. I mean, it is always good to learn rather than not to learn. So और लोग में ना एक और भ्रांति होती है कि जो सक्सेसफुल लोग होते हैं वो इनएक्सेसिबल होते हैं. बिलीव मी, दीज आर द पीपल हु आर वेरी एक्सेसिबल इफ you have a right mindset. If you go to them with the right mindset to improve yourself, no, then they would be giving the advice, but then you need to follow the advice also. Only having a good mentor is not a guarantee you will be successful until unless you are trying to work on that. So always avoid the freelance advices. Never go to some person who is not a successful person in that area for his advice. Because our friend who is very good divorce lawyer. Okay, now, if I want to have a happy family, I cannot go to him for the advice. Obviously, I'll go to a person whom I know has a happy family. Okay. So that is how we should choose from the person whom we should take the advice. So always go first class when you have a question. Seeking advice from a failure is like consulting a quack on how to cure cancer. Then get plenty of psychological sunshine. What happens on your weekends? What happens beyond 6 p.m. to 9 a.m.? That is basically decides what your success is in office. The person with constructive off job life is nearly almost more successful than a person who has a dull weekends. So here are a few ways where you can keep your environment first class. First is always circulate in the new group. During one of the graduation ceremony of ISDM, the co-founder Ravi Sridharan has said, "You will learn the most from the people who you are who you are least like." Means we should always mingle with people who are not like us, who are different, whose thought process is different. Say I'm from sales, I should mingle with the people who are from operations, who are from finance, who are from a different job, so that basically I get new ideas, I get new way of thinking, refreshed way of thinking. Similarly, if I'm from telecom, probably I can go and mingle with the people from different domain, different businesses like software development, like FMCG, retail, a lot of things. So you keep on mingling with the people who are different from you, so that you will always get the refreshing thoughts, the refreshing ideas, and we need to try to learn as much as we can from them. But uh, you know when we are going in such a meeting such peoples, we should always keep in mind we should only meet people who have potential, who have desire to grow, who can help you, motivate you to grow. It should not happen ki in that group I'm going and I'm meeting to a person who is completely a negator. He will bring my energy down. So we should never do that. Then we should always make new friends, join new organizations. We should enlarge our social orbit. The more people we meet, we study the people. The more people we study, the more ideas, the more thought process we get, and it opens the gateway for us. So we have to be always, look out of the new people, meeting people, and we should always select the person who is really encouraging person, who is a progressive thinker rather than a regressive thinker. You know, so there is a very good saying: you can't soar like an eagle when you surround yourself with turkeys. So if you have a dream to achieve high success, you have a dream to be, very successful, you cannot afford to be hang around with people who are not successful, who don't think success, who have surrendered in their life. They'll not help you. Believe me, you hang out with five entrepreneurs, you will start thinking like entrepreneurs. You hang out with five unsuccessful people, you will start believing like those unsuccessful people. So the way we choose our association, the kind of people we associate ourselves with is very important and very precious. So always try to find out the successful people and hang around them. And believe me, always hang around with the people who have a success level higher than you. Lower than you will never learn anything. So it is the people higher than you who motivate you, who pull you basically. Then we should always avoid gossip. Believe me, gossip is something which is like a poison. And no, when we take poison, our body stops breathing, uh, and we basically die. Yeah, whereas the poison gossip give us is basically no very slow poison, and it is very dangerous one. It affects our mind, not the body, and is very subtle. The person being poisoned usually even doesn't know it he is poisoned, and he basically starts enjoying the gossip. Gossip में क्या होता है? आप कहते हैं यार वो बंदा यार उसमें ये कमी है, ये इसमें ये कमी है, क्या फायदा है उसका? या फिर आप अपने को ऊपर दिखाने की कोशिश करते हैं। आप जैसे कि ठीक है दूसरे को कन्विंस करने की कोशिश करते हैं कि आप उससे अच्छे हैं, और ये सब हेल्प नहीं करता है। Thought poison is 0% right thinking and 100% wrong thinking. You're giving very wrong thought to your mind. You're giving very negative food to your mind. Your mind will become negative. जब माइंड निगेटिव रहेगा तो आपको निगेटिव आइडियाज ही देगा, तो निगेटिव आइडियाज देगा, एनीवे यू विल नॉट बी सक्सेसफुल। सो आपको हमेशा टेस्ट करते रहना चाहिए कि हाउ मच प्रोन वी आर टू गॉसिप, एंड believe me, keep yourself away from gossip, keep yourself away from the people who are involved in gossip. Be able, breaking our neighbor's furniture with axe will never make our furniture even a bit good. Similarly, when you axe a person's character by talking garbage, by giving him, by lowering down him, it will not do anything good for your own. So it will never make you a better person. So always avoid gossip. Then the last is always go first class in everything you do. If you are working, try to find out how better can you work on that particular project, on that particular job, and how you can increase your output in that particular job or the particular process. Never be satisfied with जो भी आ रहा है ठीक है. So always go first class. Always look for more. Then you basically we can basically use the same thing in our daily life. Let us keep small belongings, but then they should be of quality, because in long run they pay more rather than purchasing the cheaper one. In fact, एक कहावत है सस्ता रोए बार बार महंगा रोए एक बार. So you should always try to go first class. In fact, when I started my sales career, and my boss, he was my boss, not super boss. He was my boss. So he advised me two things. One is have good shirts, good plain shirts with good matching tie. You keep only two. You keep on changing tie. That is good. Because if you keep on changing ties, you will. It always looks icky. You are wearing a new shirt. But no, keep one, two, three, four, whatever you can afford, but of good quality, rather than purchasing the cheaper one. So that helps in two ways. One is it increases our own morale, our own self confidence, and it always instills a positive thought. You will not feel inferior in going to somebody. So develop an instinct for quality. It pays, and it pays in big way. Okay. So this was for the today, and I believe it will help you somewhere in life. Uh, we'll meet after an hour with a different live discussion with one of my book reading club colleague, who where we will be discussing the one chapter from Rich Dad Poor Dad, and I'm very sure you will enjoy that also. Thanks a lot.